This was an amazing, amazing opportunity for me to move around the room and listen to your ideas and get some insights regarding what it is that we have to do. So I'm just going to make a couple of comments before we close, because I know we've only got about 10 minutes. And I want to respond specifically to some of the things that I heard just here in the end, as well as some of the things that I've heard as I walked around the room. What strikes me as one of the most important things for you, and I'm going to ask if I got this right, is each and every one of you seem to say that you want to come to a school where you feel happy to be there. You want to come. There's great people there when you get there. There's great teachers there that you can relate to, and there's programs that can help you learn. Some of you said, I want to have fun. I got to take these courses, so I want to have fun. And what really struck me as I listened is, no matter what school you go to, and I know there's 5 schools represented here right now, that's the most important thing to you. And that's giving us a lot of great insight in terms of how do we plan, how do we create, what do we do to make all of our schools great, and worrying about the culture of the school, worrying about the relationships in the school, how people are relating to one another is really significant. Now, there must be some interesting tweets going on up here, because I love watching people's faces when certain things are happening. Isn't this an amazing way to really get all your ideas out in front? It's wonderful. The other thing that I want to say is, and I want to be very, very upfront about this, because again, it's one of those things that we're in a large group, it's harder to speak to, but I don't want to ignore it. Some of you are feeling more than others in this room right now the stress of change, because there are changes coming. We don't have them all sorted out yet, but they're coming. And some of you told me how you don't like that. You don't want to have to think about possibly going to a different school, or for programs changing, or for movement to happen. And I want to say to you loudly and clearly, what did I miss? Was it really good? What I want to say to you today is, as much as it may seem like, all right, I got to look up here. What does it say? What did you say? What did you say?
Tacos.
Tacos. What does tacos have to do with what we're talking about?
You guys are too distracted.
No.
Okay. The only problem is that if we're going to talk food, I'm not going to be as exciting. There's just no way I can do that. But again, what I hope the message is that I'm leaving with you is, even though we are asking you, and you've done a brilliant job to help us think about what our schools should look like, what our programs should be, and how we create the right environment for you. Thank you for that. I want you to leave this meeting, this session, knowing that our commitment is that you are the best you can be. And we got to do everything we can to make that happen. So, some of you talked about you need a little extra help sometimes, and you don't always know where to get that help. Some of you talked about balancing so many commitments, and there's not always enough time to do everything that's necessary. Some of you talked about how important it is to have caring teachers and engaging programs, and we hear you on that. And what's the best thing about what I saw as I was tweeting and taking my pictures with my new QR reader, which I just learned how to do yesterday, is we have so much insight from you, and that's exactly what I was hoping for. So there's just 1 or 2 last comments. My commitment, again, is that everything that we learn from these forums is going to be brought forward to our board in February, but also we're going to send it out to you in some fashion. So that's really, really important, and I want you to know that everything you've shared with us is going to be used. Secondly, and I'm looking for our student trustees for a minute. Put your hands up there, Lexi and Sydney. We'll give them a round of applause. They are expected to do something on your behalf. And I know that they would not mind me saying this, that they are always looking for ways in which they can better serve you. So I'm going to put them on the spot right now and ask them to come up here for a minute. And if you could give this great group of students some message from you that you believe will make the biggest difference to their voice impacting our direction, what would it be?
I think the most important thing to remember is that no matter whether you're part of a student council or the student senate, you have a voice. Just because you aren't on the student senate or student council, you still have a voice. We kind of want to let you know, I guess, how you can have a voice. And I think the way you can do that is, if you have an issue, if you have a concern that you want to bring forth, bring it to your student council. Because the student council, their job is then to bring it to the student senate, which is what Lexi and I host every 3 weeks. And then we can bring it forth to the board. And Lexi is actually at a provincial level, so she can bring it forth provincially.
Yeah, I completely agree with Sydney. And then also, if you guys want to contact Sydney or I directly, like, you're completely welcome to do that. Our information is on the board website. So we have our cell phones. You guys can text us, you can call us, you can email us, add us on Facebook, whatever. We're here for you guys. We're here to voice your opinions, not our own, your opinions. So.
Great, thank you. Amazing leaders for us. And my very last comment before I say my thanks again is, sometimes when we are listening very closely to what students want or what anyone might wish to share, there's sometimes a belief that we're only being listened to when we're able to do exactly what is being asked. And one of the greatest lessons I've learned is that in a room this size, and I looked at all of the different things that you've shared with us so far, there's very many different views. We don't always agree. And what the job is to figure out how to come to the best place for everyone. And that may mean sometimes not getting exactly what you might believe is the most important thing to happen or the best result. And that's hard. But what I want to say to you is that your insights, your perspective, your experience, it matters so much. You've done an amazing job to help us today. I wish you all the best, and in a special way again to your teachers who brought you here, to Highland, Mr. Hart's right here, who hosted us, to the wonderful teachers at Highland who have supported us to make this happen, and to the great team. Can the team, I know Mr. Pulley's right here, but I don't see the other members of the team. Can the team who made this happen, including our teachers from Highland, can you come forward so we can give you a round of applause, please? Excellent. Thank you. The energy in this room makes me very proud to be the director of Hamilton Wentworth District School Board. You kids are great. Thank you so much.